All right, my number 5 most favorite movie of all time is da 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 Robocop. Oh man, this movie, it almost was number 4, let me tell you. I saw this the first time not a long time ago. I actually watched it 2003 or something on VHS. And I was really surprised because I had watched the Terminator movies several times before that, but Robocop was just sort of like, I think I underestimated it a bit because you have the cover, you see this robot, it's a robot cop, Robocop, okay? I thought it was kind of a simple action movie, but it's so much more. I mean, it grows on me like every time I watch it, it becomes even better. People might think it's cheesy, but it's really not. It's really a heartfelt, dramatic movie with some cheese, to be honest. Like, I'd buy that for $1, even though I have no fucking clue why that is funny. I don't know why it's funny. Why are people laughing? The villains, well, the lower villains, so to speak, Clarence Boddicker and his gang, they are cheesy. At least not cheesy really, but they're really happy all the time, except when they're killing people or whatever. But they have this part when they get these anti-tank guns that shoot like they shoot explosions basically, and they're just like blowing up cars and just like they're just having so much fun. There are 2 parts, well, 2.5, but the whole movie is just great. The whole movie is great, but there are 2 parts that make it. If you took away these 2 parts, it would still be a good movie, but it wouldn't be amazing. The first part is that when he dies and comes back. He's on the gurney, like going into the hospital. They cut a bit back and forth from pictures of him lying on the gurney and getting defibrillated and all that stuff. But also his point of view, looking at the doctors doing stuff on him. But his life can't be saved. So then from his eyes, everything just goes dark, and then you had the computer screen goes on, and then it's like one long. Well, they do cut, but it's still like one long sequence of from his point of view when they fix stuff on him, and you can understand that time goes by because they're working on it for a bit of time. They have like a New Year's party or something, and then he's a robot now. He's back, and one part of that which just always gets me is the lose the arm bit. Like, look, we were able to save his left arm. I think it's his left arm. And then Bob Morton walks in like, hey, I thought we agreed on total prosthetic something. Now lose the arm. They're like, jeez, like, well, we can do anything to him, right? He's legally dead, like, we own him. Yeah, sure, okay, lose the arm. Then they just kind of cut as they like go in on him. But it's like, okay, he survived all of that. He's now a robot, a semi-robot cyborg, and but he has his arm. It's like, cut off the arm, just cut it off. And it's like, oh, they just do that to him. And it's such a tiny bit, but it sure doesn't go by me unnoticed. So he becomes Robocop. He goes out to fight crime. He does it very well. But then he by chance runs into Emil, who's holding up a gas station of some kind. Because he still has some remnants of his old personality. He spun his gun like he did as a person, and then he said, "Dead or alive, you're coming with me." Just like he said to Emil before he died. So Emil recognizes, like, someone has said that to me before, and he's like, "You're dead. We killed you. We killed you!" And then he starts shooting at him, and Robocop just stops because he like can't process. But he also records what he said, so he plays it back over and over. But as he tries to flee, he regains his composure a bit, and he like shoots out the engine or something, and he crashes, and he's like, "Who are you?" So then begins this whole journey of trying to reconnect with his humanity, trying to understand like who he was and everything, because he basically still is that person. That's my view of it anyway. And then the second part is when he finds out, okay, so who he is. He goes to his old address, his old house, and just walks through the house, and it goes into his point of view, and he has flashbacks, and he sees his family and his wife, and it's just so wonderfully done. And it's so emotional, that scene. And then he punches the screen. It's like, goddamn fucking Boddicker, I'm gonna fucking get him. So he basically crashes his drug deal, shoots up everyone, takes Boddicker in, but as he kind of strangles him, and he's like has to remind him like, you're a cop, and like, I am a cop, like because he can't just kill some guy. So he has Boddicker in while he strangles him, says like, Dick Jones, I work for Dick Jones. Dick Jones runs the cops. And he goes to arrest Dick Jones, but he can't because Directive 4 is a failsafe to not get a corruption safe, basically. So he can't arrest Dick Jones. Dick Jones calls ED209 on him, and they battle. And the stop motion on ED209 is really, really good for the most part, but it's really, really silly when he falls down the stairs, because he's like takes this step like a cartoon when they put like their toe in the water and it's like, it gets too cold and something. He just really has, and then he puts his foot down and it just falls over, and then it lies on his back and squeals like a pig. When I saw it first, I thought like it's too ridiculous to like it like pulled back my grade of the movie or something. No, I just enjoy it. And then he's saved by Lewis, and he takes his helmet off, and he basically still has his face. The rest is mechanical. He kills Boddicker's people and Boddicker, and then he goes to the headquarters, and then it's another great part when he just first he comes in like opens the door wide open, and Dick Jones is wanted for murder, and then Dick Jones takes the old man Dan O'Hurley hostage, and then because he still can't do anything because it's Directive 4, but then he's like, Dick, you're fired, and then he shoots him. He falls out the window, and then we have the single worst effect in movie history, because instead of a blue screen with Ronnie Cox just lying on a blue screen on the floor and just going like, oh, they have some kind of dummy. It looks like a doll, kind of like a Barbie doll or no, an action figure, and his arms are like twice as long as his body or something. It looks really, really weird. Definitely the worst effect. But then, the ending! It's so fucking good. The old man's like, nice shooting, son. What's your name? And Robocop, as he's going out, is Murphy. Yeah, so the movie after he dies comes back. It's like it's this journey to find his humanity, and at the end he has found his humanity. He is Alex Murphy again, and it just hits home. It's so fucking good. But the rest of the movie is just entertaining as hell too. The villains are fun. The action is good. The Lewis character, the woman, she's not a love interest. There's nothing bad to say about the movie except maybe for the bad action figure special effect. But yeah, it hits me harder than I expected, probably because my own fear of death. I have a huge fear of death, and I don't believe in God, so I know I won't go to any place. I know it would just be, and then darkness for eternity, darkness that I can't experience. So this part of this bit of him dying and coming back, and it's very poignant to me. It hits close to home, so to speak. Yeah, I don't know what else to say right now. Robocop, my number 5 best movie ever.